guys, welcome to Charmy's Bookcase, where I, Charmy Terrell, review and discuss books I read. And this week we're going to be discussing the film and book Coraline with the lovely Brenda.
Hey you guys, it's your girl Brenda from the scary stuff and the crimes.
Coraline, when I think of it, I think of my childhood. I remember having the 3D DVD set with the glasses and watching it and getting freaked out.
The one set that freaked me out was when she threw the looking glass.
Oh yeah, and it goes through the screen at the audience. Yeah, I remember us having it, but only give you like 2 pairs of glasses, and it was 3 of us, so we had to like go back and forth.
Take turns.
Yeah, sharing. I watched Coraline like every Halloween, probably even more times than that, because I watch it even when it's not even Halloween. I just watch it over and over again.
Yeah. When did Coraline come out?
I think 2009 it came out.
Okay, you guys. I was a senior when this movie came out and I was still scared. The bell down, man, when she turned to like that spider thing, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
When I saw the movie Coraline, it was not at all what I thought it was going to be about. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a kids movie. Whoever says it's a kids movie lied.
Hates kids. That's what it is.
Especially the play scene. I don't know how that got past the adults.
Yeah. So when she saw the other girl was practically naked, and then which one is it? Miriam?
It's Miriam.
Miriam's the one who she said was pretty naked, but then April came out and it was like, girl.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So,
girl,
this is not a kids movie.
Girl, is all I gotta say.
Well, without further ado, let's get into this. Coraline is a children's horror novel written by Neil Gaiman. Coraline is about a little girl who moves into a new apartment/flat. It is there that she finds a door that sends her to a parallel universe that mirrors her own world, where all her dreams come true from the help of the other mother. But she's unaware that the perfect world has a deep, dark, sinister secret. Coraline is a very independent and confident girl, which could stem from the fact that her parents are very neglectful and leave her alone for hours at a time. All the other neighbors are way too old for her, so for a large part of the book, we're just left with her internal monologuing, which I didn't really mind, but
I see why, like, in the book and in, like, in movies, why they add certain things, because, like, it's hard to explain an inner monologue in a movie.
Yeah.
They did it
unless you, like, break the fourth wall, you keep having to break it.
They tried to do it in the movie The Host, which is a Stephenie Meyer book, and it just did not do well, in my opinion.
Coraline is headstrong and fearless, but it's her curiosity that causes her to stumble upon the door. Now, the door in the book is huge, still bricked up, but huge, while the door in the film is small. Now, I think that change stems from a child's curiosity. I mean, what adult would crawl through a little door? Except, Sheldon.
Right, because I'm definitely not.
What happened?
I was trying to see what was in here, and my head got stuck.
Why would you do that?
It's called scientific curiosity. Now go get butter.
I don't even think my boobs or butt would allow me to.
One day, Coraline opens the door to see that it's not bricked up and leads down a dark hallway to another door. She walks to the door and opens it to a world that mirrors her own with slight differences. There she meets the other mother, a woman who looks like her mom, only she's taller, slimmer, and with skin as white as paper, and button eyes.
Yeah, them button eyes.
I also find it oddly intriguing that Coraline's real mother and father aren't giving names in the book. They are just referred as mother and father, which really doesn't really distinguish them from their counterparts in the other world.
Yeah.
Because in the movie, they do have names. Like, I looked it up. It was Mel for the mom, and for the dad, I think, was it? Charlie, yeah. Charlie. And they even say Charlie Jones. I don't know if they ever said the mom's name.
I don't know either.
Everything in the other world is better, brighter, and very alluring. She runs into a black cat she often sees around her house in the real world. But in the other world, he can talk. He is basically the moral voice of the story, but he's very condescending.
He said something like, she said, how come you don't talk in my world? And he's like, how do you know I can't talk in your world? And I just thought, like, can you talk? Can cats talk? Tell me now.
I feel like he's what cats would be like in our world, talking all this smack behind our backs.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like cats are probably sarcastic. You got your cats who are, like, loving and goofy, but I feel like for the most part, cats are probably sarcastic.
Cats treat us like we're their peasants.
Right. No, they treat us like we're the pets.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me.
Like, where's my food?
Like, oh, you're home. Great. Why are you here? Like, because I paid the bills?
This is my alone time. Go back to work.
I'm like, you lucky you're not an alley cat. I'm just kidding. You're an indoor cat. I will let you stay inside.
Then she sees her neighbors, Miss Fink and Miss Forcible, sisters who were once actresses. She watches their play and then is given a choice. The other mother and father sit her down and tell her in order for her to stay here, she must sew buttons into her eyes. Obviously, Coraline declines and rejects that offer. She leaves. Now, prior to this scene, the real Miss Fink and Forcible read Coraline's tea leaves. The leaves show for coming danger, so the sisters give her a talisman for protection. And it is this talisman that protects Coraline in the proposition scene and allows her to leave the other world. The talisman anchors Coraline back to reality and keeps the other mother's influence off of her.
The talisman is the looking glass, correct?
Yes, the green thing. Well, the green thing in the I don't think it has a color. Yes, it did. I think it did have color in the book.
I can't remember what color it was in the book because
But
when it was mentioned, all I could think of was we saw the movie first.
Yeah,
so,
we saw the movie. But it's basically a stone with a hole in it, and that's what she used to get out.
Low-key, it's not like a planchette, but it reminds me of
It does look like kind of like a planchette.
But it reminds me of like the triangle that has like the circle in it. I don't know what
in the eye.
And it's not like the Illuminati. There's a triangle that has a circle inside of it. I don't know like what it symbolizes. Okay, I looked it up. It was the Harry Potter symbol.
They're definitely hallows with the triangle and the wand, the cloak, and the ring is what each of them symbolize. But that's something different.
But yeah, when I first saw that, I thought like, oh, Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. But once she comes back to the real world, Coraline realizes her parents have gone missing. She soon finds out that her other mother took her parents as retaliation for rejecting her. So Coraline goes back to the other world to fight the other mother. Returning to the other world, Coraline meets the other mothers the Beldam's 3 victims. Now the word Beldam has multiple origins. Coming from France, the phrase means a beautiful woman. But from England, Beldam can mean an old woman, crone, or witch.
You know, when I think about you saying that, you know what came to mind?
What?
That like optical illusion where you see the old woman or the young
beautiful lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can see both.
I can see both too.
Other translations say beautiful mother or stepmother. So the Beldam could be either a beautiful woman or a monstrous creature or either both, which I feel like is really relevant here. Like she's a beautiful creature that will eat your face off.
Right. She could display herself as a beautiful creature, but underneath she's really this evil old hag.
Dang.
She don't have to be a hag, but
old hag. The Beldam lures in children and eats them. The ghost children. What?
I just think of Hansel and Gretel.
Oh yeah, that could also be.
Because she definitely lured them in with delicious treats in a house made out of food.
Oh
which
yeah.
I'm not sure how that stayed in the forest, but whatever.
Well, we don't talk about physics here. The ghost children tell Coraline and warn Coraline about the other mother. It is with the ghost children that Coraline comes up with a plan to challenge the other mother to a game of hide and seek. Coraline must find her parents and the soul of the ghost children in order to leave. She finds the souls by looking through the hole of the talisman, showing her where the souls are located. And there were like 3 different, I call them trials that she went through. Well, actually not really
Trials and tribulations.
Yeah, but it's actually 4. So the first ghost soul or ghost eye, which they said in the movie, was in the toy box in the book.
In her room, yeah.
In her room. And that one was easy, just put it to your eye and she found
just
it.
so happened to find that, honestly.
Yeah, it was just a coincidence. And then the second one was the play stage where the sister had their play. That one was creepy. I feel like they did it. It's more creepy in the book than in the movie, because in the book she goes to the stage and there's this big spider egg sac slimy thing that she has to stick her hand through to get it. And the sisters, when she grabs the sisters, thief! That's the part that scared the crap out of me when they were screaming and chasing after her.
Not sticking her hand in that slimy egg sack.
Well, that too. That was creepy too. Then the third thing was not the grandmother, the other mother gonna tell her to go in the empty flat, and it was basically a trap. She trapped her and said, go to the empty flat, something might be there, and she goes there, and that's where the father is. And I guess since the other mother is very starving and she's also losing control because Coraline's taking the souls away, that the father is this big doughy mess of cells and he's just disgusting. And he attacks her.
You know what I think of? I'm sorry, I'm just always saying you know what I think of. But I think of that scene in Blade where that fat vampire is laying in the bed. That's what I thought of, like him, but him being able to walk, though.
Oh, why are the vampires so fat?
I don't even know. How is he even getting victims? Like, I mean, well, they were bringing it to him, but...
Well, just lay it down. The father doesn't want to hurt Coraline, but the other mother's making him. In the end, Coraline blinds him to get away.
Yeah.
That time she didn't find a ghost eye or a soul.
No, that was just a trap from the other
just
mother.
a trap. And the last thing was the rats and the rat guy and the...
Yeah, they didn't really talk about Mr. Bobinski a lot
In the book.
In the book, yeah.
He was more in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But in the book, she goes and he sits there and he's like, his lines are so creepy.
You're just a copy she made of the real Mr. B.
Not even that anymore.
And he just burst out and all these rats came out of
Oh,
him.
no. Ew, gross.
Yeah, that was so creepy.
Girl, I'm not even gonna lie. Once I found that ghost eye and I went to go talk to the other mother, I would have slapped her across the face for just even putting me in the vicinity of these nasty rats.
These were the scariest parts of the books for me.
Yeah. I think the basement scene was really creepy to me because then, like, even with him being blind, she had to, like, sneak so he couldn't hear her.
Yes.
And the steps,
It's like, don't breathe.
Yeah, and her bag, I think, got caught on the step or something like that. And it made a sound, and
Yeah, right.
I just imagine him just, like, scurrying across the floor, like, ew.
With all the ghost souls, she then confronts the other mother. It is there that she finds her parents trapped in a snow globe. But Coraline knows
Every
adult
in the book kept calling her that.
Coraline knows better. She knows that even if she wins this game, the other mother won't let her leave. So Coraline tricks the other mother into opening the only door to the real world. And then...
You know what the thing I noticed about the other mother, when she would, in the book, when she would ask her stuff, the other mother would just stare at her. Like, there was no emotion coming from her, so Coraline would just have to, like, kind of guess. She was trying to, like...
Intimidate her?
Yeah, and, like, get her to, like, say something or look somewhere, and she just gave her, like, a blank stare.
Yeah, girl. The other mother in the book is so creepy.
So creepy.
So Coraline tricks the other mother into opening the door to the real world. And then she throws the cat at the other mother, which I thought was so messed up. As a distraction and escapes. She grabs the key and locks the other mother on the other side of the door. Now, I do find it weird that in the book and the film, the parents don't remember their time in the other world.
Yeah.
Like, after everything's done, they're just like, oh, this is just another Tuesday. Like, they don't question where the heck they were been.
Right.
Especially since they were missing longer in the book than they were in the film.
Yeah, something else that kind of creeped me out was the fact that she even had the ability to be able to get the parents in the first place.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, like, what was stopping her all this time? Like, she really was playing with Coraline this whole time.
Also, well, actually, this is more in the film, but yeah, keep going.
No, I was just saying that it was just creepy that she got them, and I guess she got the power of amnesia because they do not remember anything that happened.
So she must have did the neuralizer on them.
Right. Look into the light.
Now, you think it probably is over, but no. The other mother won't give up.
She really wouldn't.
She really would. In her escape, Coraline severs the other mother's hand when she locked the door. And though the hand is no longer attached to the other mother, she can still control it and goes after Coraline. How the hand can see and hear is beyond me because I don't know how.
I don't either.
She was like, she's just feeling everywhere. Like, that don't make no sense.
I don't even know.
Coraline has a dream with the ghost children that tell her to get rid of the key, which is the only way the other mother can, like, come out and get her.
I love the dream that they had. It was so cute.
Yeah.
It made me think of, like, all my happy childhood memories with I would meet random people. We would, like, hang out in the park and then, like, you saying goodbye to your random friends.
Coraline tricks the other mother by leading her to the old well near her home. She sets up a blanket down on top of the well and puts the key right in the center. So when the hand jumps for it, the hand falls down with the key into the well.
Now, that was a very good plan.
But I'm thinking, this is a hand. Can't it just climb up?
What do you mean?
Like, climb up the well.
I guess it depends.
This hand is not, like...
But it depends on the well, though. At the bottom, you know how, like, when water is in a certain place for a long time, like, the walls get slippery and they kind of lose their friction. I wonder if that is the case. And even if it could have, like, the top ones probably could have been able to climb up, trying to get up there would probably revert to it sliding down.
Because I was thinking,
also, I'm thinking the other mother is weak, so I don't know how much strength she has to be able to even climb out of that well.
Yeah, that's also true. Oh, well. Well, that's how it ends with the hand in the well and questions.
Coraline Part 2.
Yeah. What I also like about the book is that it has those creepy pictures that kind of remind me of scary stories you tell in the dark.
Oh, I see.
Like, those are creepy.
Those pictures, man. I feel like the scary stories telling dark was scary, but them pictures really added more. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're going to talk about the film Coraline and all the differences. It was directed by Henry Selick. Now, I watched the film before I read the book, so I kind of like the film more. That's one of the weird times I do like the adaptation more.
I'm not gonna lie, anytime I ever watch the film first and then read the book, I usually like the film more.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's just maybe first exposure to it.
Yeah.
But the film shares many similarities, but also many differences. In the book, the story is set in Britain, while in the film, the setting is set in Oregon, obviously to lean towards the more American audiences. Another addition to the film that I actually liked was the character of Wybie, or Wyborn.
I like Wybie.
Yeah, Wybie's grandmother was the owner of the Pink Palace, the apartment complex that Coraline moves into. She doesn't rent to people with kids, but I believe that Coraline's parents either neglected to mention Coraline or just say they don't have kids.
Girl,
to get a cheap place to live.
I will say this, that the
like,
parents...
it's not far off with something they would do.
Right. The parents in the movie seem more neglectful than the parents in the book. I would have to say yes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the parents, even in the book, she would tell Coraline, like, don't go there, don't do that, don't be out after dark, like, stuff like that. And then the movie...
She was like, oh, you went outside. Okay.
Right.
Oh, you got bitten.
Oh,
okay.
there's poison oak on your hand.
You're missing an arm.
Right.
Some people didn't like his character, including the author himself, and here's what he had to say about the character. And I quote, "I was uncomfortable with the feeling that Wybie had rescued Coraline at the end. She had to rescue herself." End quote. And I see why he said that. Yeah, he was very important in the end, in the great battle with the hand. But I didn't see it as him trying, like, saving her. I saw it as them fighting together against this great evil that not only tried to kill Coraline, but also killed his great-grandma's sister and caused all this pain in their family.
Right. And if anything, Wybie was stalking her. I'm just kidding.
Stalking her?
Because she definitely likes to say that to him.
It's Wybie that gives Coraline a little doll, also added for the film, by which I have this one question. Did the other mother get her mice or rat friends to get the old doll back so that she could transform it into Coraline, then tell her rat friends to put it back where they found it, just so Wybie will give it to Coraline?
I don't know.
Because that's a lot of steps.
The only reason I don't know is because she was able to capture the parents, so I'm just kind of like,
where doll did that come from?
What abilities does she have is the question.
Yeah. I also will say that one of the scariest scenes are with or around Wybie. Like when Coraline's talking to the other dad, and she's like, "Oh, I'll just get the other Wybie to tell me," and he turns around and gives her that look like,
Not here.
If you won't even talk to me, I'm gonna find the other Whitey. He'll help me.
No point. He pulled a long face, and Mother didn't like it.
sewed his mouth into a smile. Like, that crap is creepy.
I know, I felt...
And then his death, like his clothes just
I know, I
flapping in
really
the
did
air.
not like that scene.
Like, it was so sad. Another difference or addition is the film opens up with the other mother creating the Coraline doll, which is not in the book, but I did like it. The doll in the beginning is Wybie's grandmother's sister, looks exactly like her.
Exactly like her.
And I feel like the opening scene really mirrors birth and creation through the other mother's eyes. The doll represents the mother giving Coraline life while also gaining control over her, because the doll soon becomes her little spy on her. Sinister music is playing as long, thin like needle fingers sew up and create the doll. Old stuffing is pulled out and new stuffing is in. The old hair is pulled off the doll and new hair is replaced. She literally takes the doll apart piece by piece and makes a whole new one. And then she finishes it by putting buttons on her eyes. I just find this scene to be haunting and yet oddly satisfying. It kind of reminds me of the Toy Story 2 scene where Woody's getting cleaned.
Mm-hmm.
And like, this is really weird because Woody's awake and aware, but he's like oddly getting cleaned.
Right. It's funny that you said birthing, because I'm about to give you a theory that actually is more on the death thing. Mm-hmm. So I found this theory from a TikToker named Bella DeVilli. company. We'll just put the name on there 'cause I'm not sure if I'm saying right. So in the beginning scene of Coraline, when the other mother is making the Coraline doll, she is actually using 18th century embalming tools.
Oh my god.
And the director also mentioned that nothing in this movie is by accident. So that I thought was very interesting. One of the tools that you see is a bone saw.
Which is so weird. Why would you use that on a doll?
I don't know, but she's using embalming tools, which
It
is
doesn't
very
matter
creepy.
where she uses those tools on the kids.
I know. I was kind of thinking that.
This is a dark story and not for kids.
At all. When you die, your clothing is actually typically cut off of you straight, like in a straight down the back line.
Which is what we see.
Which is what you see. And it's usually because the body is stiff and swollen. Another thing is sawdust and cotton are used in embalming.
And
so
she fills her up with sawdust.
And also, the mouth is sewn shut, which is a process called mouth closure.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was until I watched The Haunting of Hill House.
So that's pretty creepy when you think about
when you
that.
think about it. The film takes on a more whimsical, dreamlike feel, while the book is more horror dominant.
Yeah.
It's basically like a love letter to surrealism with its bug furniture and uncanny valley vibes. Like, I feel like Salvador Dali would be proud of this film.
Also, I feel like the creator of Alice in Wonderland would
love
also
this.
be like this film.
Like I said earlier, the door in the film is small while the door in the book is big. But also, when Coraline walks through it, the corridor in the book is dark and dingy, while in the film it's bright and colorful and it's very inviting.
She even mentions in the book that her grandmother's old furniture was in there as well.
Which is, weird. But later in the film, it darkens, becomes more book accurate. You can say it looks like, you told me it looks like a butthole.
It
To
does.
you.
I'm sorry, it does.
But for me, it looked more like a birth canal.
I
Babies
can
like
see that.
coming out. Like when you're a child and then you come out to the world, it's all shiny and new, and then life hits you in the
When you're
face.
a child and you come out to I'm coming out.
Yeah. But then life hits you in the face and you want to go back in. Like, no.
Mom, can I please go back in? Rent was free.
Also, Coraline spends more time in the world in the film than in the book.
She does. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. She goes into the world once, and then the mother's like, hey, let me sew buttons to your eyes. Well, in the film, she goes a total of 3 times before she's given a choice. And each time she sees a different attraction, I say, to prompt her to stay. The garden, the play, and the circus mice. I liked how the film approached this, especially when it comes to the trials and attractions, because they became, the trials or the attractions were like a dream come true, and then when she had to like fight during it, it was like a nightmare.
Right.
And the scariest part to me was obviously the ones with the sisters. You say it's the ones with the mice.
Yeah, but the whole conversation that he had with her up there, him slithering around on the floor,
Yes.
like the way he just like rolled into the tent was crazy to me. Like if I would have seen that, I would be like,
No.
yeah, I know I
No.
told her that if I lose, she could sew a button on my eyes, but just like her, I'm a liar. So no.
The trials Coraline goes through is very different in the film than the book. In the film, the other mother gives her a clue to where all the ghost eyes are, which I liked because with each attraction Coraline enjoys was the result of a child that died. Like, if you think about it, like, I enjoy this garden because this kid died for me. Well, he didn't die for me, but he died. So this garden was able to form. And there are like 3 attractions for the 3 ghost kids. I was thinking maybe each attraction was something close to the kids. Like maybe the boy in the garden liked the garden and that's why she did that. Maybe the girl in the stage like wanted to be an actress and that's why she did that. Like, if you think about it, it's like really sad. It also made me think that if Coraline didn't escape, what would be her attraction, or what would the mother may have her for the next child?
I don't know, but it would be something where you are curious and don't listen.
Yeah. In the book, the other mother doesn't give Coraline any clues and makes her work for it. Yeah. The talisman in the book is also like it is in the film. You have to look through it to see what's,
The looking glass.
the looking glass is what to see where all the souls are. In the book, the trials are the garden, the play, and the rats. Now, for the garden, I did find it interesting that the dad rides a praying mantis because praying mantis are known to eat their loved ones. Well, I don't know if they really love each other, but after they mate, they be eating them like a black widow would, which is something that the other mother turns into. But yeah, I thought it was very interesting that he was riding a praying mantis that was trying to eat her.
What I did find interesting was the looking glass that Miriam and April gave her actually helped her find real things, and the dead children's souls were the only real thing in the other world.
Yeah, everything else is fake. During the theater trial, instead of there being this big spider egg sack, it was just wrapped in candy. Because, you know, they sweet. And she just rips it open and grabs the thing. But then, you know, the sisters grab her and call her a thief. And
Well, they're salty. They were saltwater. They were saltwater
Or
toffee.
taffy.
Yes, that's what they were.
The only way she escaped was to throw a flashlight at the little dog demons or dog birds. I don't know. They were dogs
Dog
with
bats?
wings.
Yeah, I
Dog bats, yeah. And then the third was the circus mice upstairs in the attic. Gary, the way he was slithering around that room.
Girl. And the way he was doing it, like, it was just, like, so creepy to me.
Still, like, the Mr. Bobinski got the scariest lines.
He does.
That whole scene was scary.
Yeah.
And the way he delivered it was scary.
It really was.
So then, after collecting all them ghost children eyes, she has a big fight with and the difference in this is that when she throws the cat at the mother, the cat blinds her. Instead, in the book, she just scratches at he scratches out her face and blood leaks out, but her blood is like black tar that comes down her face.
Ew.
But I also like that they added that the mother turns into a spider and turns the whole room into her web that like catches Coraline and she jumps on her. And
I'm not even gonna lie, when I first seen that scene, I was
at
like
3D,
right, I was like, oh no
like, that is scary.
I love how fast Coraline was running up that
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Girl, when the adrenaline kicked in, Coraline was like, I'm out.
Yeah,
Like,
but she could have been more delicate when pulling that bag because
She
she,
really
just
could.
yanked it and
Girl,
it
she was
sent
scared, though.
vibrations to where she was.
I'm glad she kicked the other mother.
I also like when she's crawling, she locks the door, severs the hand, and she's crawling back. That the door's pounding,
Yeah.
and going closer and closer and closer to her, and even hits her on her way out.
The audacity the other mother had to say that
Don't leave me.
I'll
don't
die. Like, girl, you were gonna kill me though.
Yeah, like that was so funny. Like, why would I care?
Like, R.I.P. I'll put you on a shirt. I don't know what you want me to do.
And then the final fight scene, though the big fight scene at the very end, is also different. Coraline does lower the hand out to the well unknowingly, like she didn't know the hand was following her. And the hand attacks her, and that's when Wybie comes, and the two together smash the hand and drop it into the well. Now, I like the smashing of the hand because then it
too.
can't come back
up.
Come back. That's like, yeah, you ain't climbing up this well.
What creeped me out in the book was that the hand was like trying to break through the glass in her room to get the
Oh,
key around her
yes.
neck. Yes, that was creepy to me.
Yes.
Like, she heard it, and then like the next day, although in the book it's like 2 nights go by before she ends up getting rid of the key and
yeah.
but the hand, she wakes up the next morning and sees the dent in her glass from the hand trying to break in her window.
Which is weird. Like, why are you outside?
Girl, I don't know, but girl, I don't know if I would have been able to sleep.
So, a big takeaway from this book and movie is that be careful what you wish for.
Right.
And don't go through doors.
Tiny little doors, big doors. If they're bricked up 1 minute and they're not, you probably shouldn't go through them. I actually found this like article from CBR.com, and it talks about the writer and in his hometown of Hampshire, UK, about this story. I guess I don't know what to call it. Like, it's not true crime, but this creepy thing happened. So basically, a legend spotlights an older woman on the outskirts of Gaiman's home country of Hampshire, UK. Her son and daughter-in-law pass away in a terrible fire, and their newborn daughter miraculously survives, leaving the old lady to take in the baby. As time passed, no one saw the little girl going out to play, as her grandmother kept her locked up and kept people away from their house, earning her the nickname the Bad Mother. Of course, the locals began gossiping about the house and its inhabitants. The mystery drew in the village children, who decided to prove their courage by entering the house at night, hoping to meet the enigmatic girl. But when they made it inside, they didn't find clothes, toys, or any signs of a little girl living there. The only thing they found in the house was an old crib with the corpse of a baby lying inside. The body almost completely burned, buttons in place of the eyes, and seams across its mouth. The little girl never survived the fire, but the grieving grandmother clung to the baby's body like she was alive. Once the kids told their parents, they carted the woman off to a psychiatric institution where she stayed until her death.
Oh my god.
Right? Like, okay, that's really creepy though, because the old lady really put buttons over her eyes.
So here's some hidden gems that you might have missed in the movie. So in the proposition scene where they sit Coraline down to say, hey, sew those buttons on your eyes, in the background there are 3 portraits, and each of them is a silhouette of the missing child or the victims of the Bell Dam.
My goodness, if Coraline would have let her, she would have been one of those.
I know, right?
Like,
what would her side profile be?
I know.
And then in the beginning of the film, where the movers ask for a tip, on the dollar bill there's a face, and that's the director's face, Henry Selick's face, which I thought was really funny.
Yeah, that's funny. Another thing that was brought up was the double O on the welcome cake. And so the double O on the welcome cake is a symbol that means that someone could be lying or a betrayal.
Yeah, she was definitely lying.
She's definitely lying. I'm about to betray her.
So, last but not least, here are some Coraline theories. First up, the well.
I love a theory. I love a good theory.
In the film, you see this well, and around it has mushrooms, also known as fairy wings. It is a naturally recurring ring or arc of mushrooms in a circle.
Ew. I like eating mushrooms. I don't like them in the ground.
Yeah. It's also said that these rings lead to fairy realms.
Ooh.
Some people believe that the evil mother or other mother is actually a fairy that eats children.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No.
And it also relates to something that Wybie says in the beginning of the movie, where he said,
It's supposed to be so deep. If he fell to the bottom and looked up, you see a sky full of stars in the middle of the day.
and every time we see the other world, it's always at night. Even when Coraline goes to sleep in the other world, she wakes up and the sky is filled with stars. And it makes me think that the little door isn't the only way into that world.
The one thing I will say about it always being night, it's nighttime, and the other mother leaves her a note, and it's like after lunch, and I'm sitting here like, after lunch, girl, it's nighttime. Are you in Alaska?
And I do like this theory, but knowing that the key in the hand is thrown down the realm, it could just go back into the realm where the mother is, so she can get out.
Right.
So
I don't
hopefully, it's a different well.
Maybe the ring girl got the key first.
Yeah, she's fighting over it with Samara.
Samara's gonna win.
Another theory is the Bell Dam 1. Did Coraline really escape? From the first night, Coraline didn't crawl back through the corridor. She fell asleep and supposedly woke up in the real world. Now, it's said that the other mother made this illusion that she woke up into the other world all those times. But I kind of find that hard to believe when I think after the second time she went out and went shopping and the glove scene and all that stuff, I think it'd be hard for the other mother to conjure up that much power to cause that many illusions.
She's like, you're tasty, but you're not that tasty.
So even if she did lose, I would think it would have to be after that scene. When she went back, when her mom left to go get the dad, and then she had to stay.
Another thing is that TikToker that I was telling you actually brought this point up. She wasn't talking about like if Coraline got out of the other world. She brought up that the other father and Coraline's real father have different glasses, and when Coraline is at the end with her dad, he has the real dad's glasses on, not the other dad's glasses. So I kind of think that she did make it out because of that. Yeah.
But then the cat then disappears behind the stand or the sign, which is also weird.
That is weird.
And also, her parents are more kind and attentive to her than they were before. Like, why you change? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because their garden was successful. Maybe they were just mean because they sucked at like.
Maybe they were just stressed out. They were just trying to finish the catalog, and this is why they're acting that way. But once they were done,
so annoying. Leave us alone. And it's like, girl, she don't have nothing else to do, so.
Yeah, but once they were done with the catalog, you're like, we can like relax, take a break, eat a Kit Kat. Or a Snickers.
Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry.
Another theory I found was the deeper monster. Other theorists point out that the corridor might be another monster in this world. The other mother never leaves her world, only sending her rats or her hand, which was severed, to do her bidding for her. She never actually goes out, and maybe it's because she's scared. And at first I thought the corridor was something like the Bifrost from Thor, that machine that they use to go...
Is something alive?
No, it's a machine that goes in between planets. But now, thinking back, I think the corridor isn't a machine, but an actual monster. But also, what does it get out by helping the other mother get children? Like, I just don't want to know what's the purpose of it being there, you know? Yeah. What does it want, you know? Because in the book, Coraline says that the tunnel sounds like it's breathing. And when she reaches her hands out, it feels like she's in someone's mouth. Like she's walking to one's mouth into the other mother's world, you know? There's also a line where Coraline touches the walls of the tunnel, and it feels like fur-like and like weird. And she also says that whatever it is far older than the other mother, is deep, slow, and aware of her presence. So it's like another being, but it's like, what purpose does this being serve? He just likes transporting people. Just something to think about. And then also, what's up with this cat? Like, this cat seems to know everything, and he can go everywhere, and like, is he good? Is he evil?
He also mentions that he knows other ways to get in.
That's what I think the whale is, but you putting the key down the well kind of hurts. Like,
I just don't see the cat going down the well though.
I know that, but I feel like if the well was another way, you throwing the key down there did not help.
I think that when the world was collapsing, another reason why he went with Coraline was because the other ways were
Getting
gone.
closed off
Yeah.
too. And also the other mother hates cats. So does that like really appeal to him being like a good person? Other people say the cat is also a fairy.
I don't know so much if I think the cat is a fairy per se.
Another theory is that Coraline has been dead the entire time. Like she died in the car, well, in the movie, because in the book it's very different. But in the movie they had the car accident in the very beginning where the mom has the neck brace, and they say that she actually died in that accident, and that all this is purgatory, and this is just coming to the realization that she's dead.
Well, then I
But-
guess it doesn't really matter if the mother's
The mother-
buttons in her eye.
Yeah, but also what's weird about that is she went out and talked to other people, like the whole shopping scene. But I guess that could all still be a figment of her imagination. But that's just a really strong imagination.
Maybe this is like her life before her. No, it's not her life before her eyes because she didn't do any of this.
Yeah.
The boring blue boy painting, which is the boy with the ice cream that fell, and you know, as you go into the other world, his ice cream didn't fall.
And he's happy.
The boy in the painting actually might be the Beldame's son, meaning that she once was a resident at the Pink Palace and she lost her child, causing her to hunt children to replace her lost child. Is one of like
I also heard that same theory, only that she did lose a child and that she threw herself in a well to die, but then she didn't die.
she was like the ring girl.
Yeah. She created her own world down there. Like, I like yours better. But stop eating kids.
Right. Yeah. Please stop eating kids. They're nasty. They don't wash their hands.
They don't.
I'm just kidding.
Not unless you tell them to.
Right.
And last but not least is a theory about Mr. Bobinski himself.
So I saw this thing that said that the director actually said that Mr. Bobinski is blue due to it being cold outside all the time.
But he ain't wearing no clothes.
And he's from Russia, so
he used to the cold.
Right. But I also saw something that said he does wear a medallion, and on the medallion you see a drop of blood and it has 3 lines coming from it, which possibly could be indicating that he served in helping with the Chernobyl nuclear disaster, which could be another reason why his skin is blue. The 3 drops could also be indicating the level of radiation he was subjected to. So it's believed that he helped like clean up during the Chernobyl disaster.
Overall, I enjoyed the film, I enjoyed the book, and I enjoyed the story.
Why are you using embalming tools? Like, bro, I'm just kidding. I did enjoy this movie. Now when I watch this movie though, I am a little creeped out about some of the theories and things that were discussed, but I do like the movie Coraline. Is it creepy? Yes. Is it kid appropriate?
No.
If you hate your kid, maybe.
If you hate your kid.
Or if you have a creepy kid, then I can understand it. Because, there are creepy kids out there, which, I can understand.
Really surprised there wasn't a big uprising over the play scene where she's practically naked.
I know. I'm
don't
really
understand.
surprised that no Karens. I'm really surprised no Karens came and were like, why? She got these tiny little pasties on them, giant melons. I don't know.
And what's up with boobs in this movie? Like, the Miss Forcible got big boobs, and then the store clerk,
lady, she definitely has big boobs.
Like, her back was hurting. I know her back was hurting.
My back was hurting for her.
Just watching her.
Right.
So, like, big boobs and claymation, why?
Also, we have to give credit to the director.
Stop motion.
The stop motion in this movie that took them, I think, 3 to 4 years to do.
Yes, it took them a while.
It's crazy. Like, every scene is a stop motion scene.
Like,
so,
the amount of work to put into that is insane.
This is a masterpiece, you guys. A very creepy, scary masterpiece. Yes.
I'll definitely make my niece watch it too.
Not right now. She got scared of Monsters Inc., so I don't think she's ready for Coraline.
Yeah.
Well, you've made it to the end.
You must really like the sounds of our high-pitched voices and quirky commentary.
You might as well like and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell to be notified every time we drop new content. If you want to follow our social medias, they will be linked in the description box below.
Bye!
Do not go through little bricked up doors, okay?
Do not go through the door.
They might say, do not go through little door.